Please wash and sanitize your hands frequently and avoid touching your face. Starting next Monday, March 15th, for 10 days.
Hey everyone, it is Wednesday, March 10th. The time is 4:15 p.m. and the temperature outside is a rather nice 8 degrees Celsius. I'm here at Kipling Station, and the plan for this one is to head outside and up to Dundas Street West. And from there, I'll take a walk through Islington Village. So I will head northeast along Dundas. And I think I'll head over to Islington Avenue and then down to Islington Station. This is where you'd catch a Toronto bus here at Kipling Station. And I'll be heading out to Auckland Road. And I was last here a few months ago to record a video of the new Mississauga bus and Go Bus terminal, which is located at the west end of the property just over there. And there's also a GO train platform. And there's a look back at Kipling. That is the terminal station of Line 2. And it's one of the few stations in the city that has public washrooms. There used to be washrooms one stop to the east of here at Islington, but I think those were closed back in the early 2000s. And this area has been undergoing a fair bit of development in recent years, including the reconfiguration of the 6-point interchange, which was just to the east of here. That was affectionately known as the Spaghetti Junction. And this is Dundas Street, just up ahead. So I'm not yet in Islington Village, although this is the former borough of Etobicoke. I'm gonna make it across the street here. As you can see off to the east there wouldn't have been another opportunity to cross to the north side for quite a while. So just parallel to Dundas here to the north is Bloor Street. And I think I'll head up to Bloor, maybe through this plaza just up ahead here. And here is Apache Burger. I think they've been around since 1969. That's a rather well-known diner style burger joint. Although, of course, right now they are currently only open for takeout customers. Retail shops are open, but restaurants, cafes, and bars are limited to takeout only under the current gray zone restrictions. And there's a look towards the old 6-point junction. And that was a large, tangled mess of roads connected by ramps. And that's been under a reconfiguration for several years. And I think it's to be completed in spring of this year, actually. And this here is 6 Points Plaza. So this will take me up to Bloor Street. However, just over there at the interchange, Dundas Street heads north of Bloor, and then it'll sort of run to the northeast up to the Junction neighborhood. And then right around the Junction Triangle, it dips back south and runs south of Bloor. There's a big Shoppers Drug Mart. Things have certainly been a bit busier since the city entered the gray zone on Monday. And here is Bloor Street West. And this marks the southern boundary of Islington Village, sometimes referred to as the Islington City Centre. There's some strip malls on the other side of the street. And Islington Village is loosely bound by Kipling Avenue to the west, which is just up ahead here. So I don't think this area actually counts as Islington Village yet. Although, according to Google, it does, if you pop that into Google Maps. Again, the boundaries of these areas are often just loosely defined. And then to the north would be Rathburn Road and Islington Avenue to the east. Dr. T. Pater Dental Surgeon. And those glass buildings up ahead are where you will find Islington Station. Although I'll be taking a rather roundabout way to get there. The main retail stretch of Islington Village will be along Dundas Street, which I'm approaching in a minute. And later tonight, I think I'll head off in that direction towards Mimico and live stream down or along the Queensway to Park Lawn Road. So here is Kipling Avenue.
Yeah.
So there's where Dundas Street starts to bend to the north. So there's some large-scale developments planned for all this land. There's an old movie theater just over there called the Westwood, I believe. And that would have been where I saw Ghostbusters 2 and the Michael Keaton Batman. Just want to roll my sleeves up. It's kind of hotter than I thought it would be. So I'll just cut through this park here, and this will take me to Dundas. I think this part of the street here might actually be considered to be Dundas. I'm not really in this area too often. Let's see if I can pull out Google Maps here. According to Google Maps, this is Dundas Street actually. And there is Jerry Howarth Drive. It's a rather short street. He was one of the original Blue Jays broadcasters. His voice is synonymous with Blue Jays baseball. Tom Cheek and Jerry Howarth always used to do the call. And now we're in Islington Village, at least officially. And this was established back in the 1830s. And later, in 1954, it became part of the former borough of Etobicoke. And that, in turn, became part of the megacity of Toronto in 1998. So there's where Dundas Street turns to the east here. I wonder why they didn't give this part a different name. Looks like there's a new cannabis shop going in there. What else? And this area was originally known as Mimico. But that was changed in 1858 to avoid confusion with the neighborhood of Mimico down by Lakeshore. So there's where Dundas Street turns to the east. And there's a business improvement association that is responsible for this part of Dundas, otherwise known as a BIA. I think it's actually a business improvement area. And they've been responsible for putting in a number of rather interesting historic murals. And here's one that's certainly a lot higher quality than you normally see for an outdoor mural on the side of a plaza like this. That's rather well done. So I think there's over 25 of them in total, so we should be able to spot a lot of them along the way. And there's a Sundubu Dolsot Bop restaurant. So we have a mix of older strip mall retail on this side, some of the more generic cookie cutter style condo retail on the south. I don't know why I'm talking with a bit of a twang in my voice. And this is my first time recording along this part of Dundas on this channel. Oh, there's another mural. John's Fish and Chips, celebrating 40 years. There's a Village of Islington sign. Certainly a lot of Japanese restaurants in this area. There's another sushi place and a ramen restaurant. There's Michael Power Park, which is teeming with kids out enjoying the nice weather. Here's an older looking property. I've heard much of the historical buildings in this area have been lost to redevelopment. Although perhaps the most important one still stands, and we'll be taking a look at that towards the end of the Dundas part of this walk. That would be the Montgomery's Inn, I believe it's called. We'll also be heading by the first cemetery in the city of Etobicoke. That's a pretty cool one. Old-timey football with a bomber flying overhead. Traditional Korean bakery. I wonder if they have the walnut cakes there. So the mural seems to be mostly concentrated on the north side of Dundas here. Here's one that's unfortunately been tagged. Who the heck would do that? And there's another one across the street here that's been defiled. I like street art, but when people tag things, I think that's borderline criminal. This mural shows the Mimico Creek. And what neighborhood in Toronto would be complete without a Dollarama? Here's another neat old mural. So it's kind of cool. We have these descriptions of the murals, but what's not cool are the idiots who deface these things. I hope they use some kind of surface that can be scrubbed clean. There's another one that's been defiled. Here's Islington Senior Center. And this would be the first cemetery in the former city of Etobicoke. And I think I read that the first person buried here was someone who was just passing through. They were on their way to Toronto and they died on their journey, and they had requested shortly before their death to be buried in the city of Toronto, but instead they were buried here. And that's known as the Islington Burying Grounds. I think there's a lot of former prominent people in the cemetery. It is closed to new burials, and right next to it, which is probably why this was the burial site, is the old Township Hall. And this building dates back to 1843. It's currently a Fox and the Fiddle, and it looks like they've got a pretty neat outdoor patio set up that unfortunately they're not able to utilize. There's a funeral home across the street. And what street is this? I can't see any signs. There's another mural. So this seems to be a rather nice neighborhood. And I think that's Islington Avenue coming up, so you're not too far from Islington Station. Here's another mural. Let's hope this one hasn't been defaced. And that building there is 4888. And this one here is 4872. And I had read that there was a historical building at 4884, which would seem to be between these two properties, if I'm not going crazy. It's one of those things I had on my mind to look out for, and I'm not seeing it. There's another mural. That one is commemorating the cleanup after Hurricane Hazel, which was a pretty large-scale hurricane that hit Toronto in the 1950s. I remember hearing stories about that from my dad, who lived through it. Squirrel just jumped out at my feet. I don't think the camera got that. And here's Burnham Thorpe Crescent. And this looks like it used to be a Tim Hortons or a Wendy's or maybe a KFC, but now it's an Osmow's. And there's Islington Avenue, and that's the Montgomery's Inn off in the distance. And I think there was a rather heated debate as to whether or not to demolish that property in the 1980s. And that has been around since 1830. And I believe it was sort of the center point of this area back in the day. If I'm not mistaken, this would be the Etobicoke Creek. And this will head south all the way to where it dumps into Lake Ontario at Humber Bay Park. So you can take Islington here south to Islington Station. There's those glass towers off in the distance. And my plan was to head south down Islington Avenue, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot to see. Maybe I can walk down along the creek for a bit. I guess I didn't really think that through. And I'm pretty sure just to the north of here in that direction is the Islington Golf Club. And that takes up a rather large plot of land. There's a sign for the Etobicoke Lawn Bowling Club. New bowlers welcome. So maybe I'll head south into there in a minute, but I just want to take a look at Montgomery's Inn. And I think they call this Georgian style. And this was a popular place for local villagers and farmers to meet for a drink. There's a sign here saying there's an indoor farmers market from 2 to 6 p.m., but I have my doubts that that is currently in operation. And it says it's every Wednesday from 2 to 6. So maybe there's a look at it. I don't think there's a whole lot of interesting things to see. If I were to carry on east along Dundas. And I think this is currently serving as a museum of local history. So it's no longer a watering hole and a place to rest your head. Okay, let's head south along the Mimico Creek. I'm pretty sure in the past I've ridden my bike along through here, and that'll take you through Tom Riley Park. Lawn bowling seems like one of those activities that would be completely harmless right now. Yeah, it looks like it's currently closed down. There's a look at the Mimico Creek. And let me cheat here. All right, I think this won't be my only opportunity to turn right out of here and head over to Islington. It looks like this club is home to the under 25 world champion of lawn bowling. And that looks to be a big school up there. I wonder what that is. Etobicoke Collegiate Institute. This looks a bit mucky. And these are public tennis courts. So there's supposed to be a half-hour time limit, and you reserve your next spot by hanging your racket, although I've run into people that stubbornly take up much longer than that. And it's 4:51, so this could be some kind of after-school extra curricular activity going on. These kids can go out and do that, but us adults are not allowed to sit on a patio and give a business some money to have a drink. There's another look at the Mimico Creek.
The next day that we saw one of those guys do ultrasound.
Pedestrians use other sidewalk. Can I even get out to Islington? I think I better get out right here since Islington is my destination. I wonder if they'll see some organized baseball on this field this summer. And I've played games here before. I remember being in a tournament and playing a team from Leaside. This is a very familiar spot. I've played here on a few different occasions, actually. And this is Islington Avenue and Central Park. There's the look to the north. There's an interesting mix of older rental buildings. Well, that guy just blasted through that red. And newer condos under construction. And this station, Islington, is where the Mississauga transit buses used to terminate. But all but one of those routes has been moved over to the new bus terminal at Kipling, which brings it much closer to the city of Mississauga. And that was one of the complaints when they closed those washrooms down here back in 2005 or whenever they did that. Was this was sort of a connecting point of a long journey for a lot of people. And to close down the washroom seemed like a bit of a disservice. I remember living in Korea where every subway station had pretty large bathroom facilities. So that is Bloor Street, just to the south of here. So I will slip on my mask here. I'm going to take the subway one stop to the east to Royal York. And I'll see if I can catch a bus south to the Queensway. And I think that's where I'll start my live stream from. So for the first time on this channel, let's record Islington Station. I think I can enter right here. There's the old bus bays. Well, this isn't a very pedestrian-friendly entrance if you're coming in off of Islington, or Islington. Having to needlessly walk all that way around. Why did they have their left and the right mixed up? It should be enter on the right. Oh, is that the train I want? It is. I hope you enjoyed this walk through Islington Village. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. And if you wish to support the channel, there is a link to
The next station is
my
Royal
Patreon.
Royal York Station.
All right, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.